let's talk about the other awards, and that's also includes the middle blocker. Now, Cinch, could you mind explaining it to us? Because, there's been quite a buzz and social media about, not really, controversial about Rosalyn Doria and Maddie Badayag for the Best Middle Blocker award.
At a certain point, we even saw it as one of the top trending topics
in
Twitter when the awards list came out. But I think one thing to figure out about it was, because in the blocking position, Maddie's number one, of course, with most blocks. And then Doria just comes second. But then, if you look at overall performance, a lot of factors were factored in probably about it. There's Doria ranking top 10 in the serving and whatnot. But I think the bottom line, it's not about who's first or who's second, but we're building a mythical team here. We're building a mythical 7. So it's really about just forming the 7 people who will be there. And I think Michelle just resonates that stand as well.
I honestly did not know that first and second was a hierarchy. So when I was going through Twitter and seeing all the tweets of a lot of people, dun ako nagulat na I really didn't know that if you're first, you're better than second. So akala ko that they're just gonna announce the first one and then announce the second one. Oo, nauna lang. You just have to announce them separately, diba? So that they have their own airtime. So yeah, and I was really shocked, and I honestly don't know how they computed. So as just spectators, we really don't know what went down in the stats when they were computing it. So how, if it is a hierarchy, it wasn't confirmed, but if it is or if it isn't.
There's no confirmation. And every year naman, the system of awarding changes. Last year, we did it per skill. This year, we're doing a hodgepodge of both.
Do you think it's better that how they changed the awarding? They're building a mythical 7?
I think it's better because you do have 2 outside spikers at a time inside, 2 middle blockers. So it's safe to award 2 as well at the end of the season, because you have such a huge pool. You want to be able to recognize as much talent as you can.
Yeah, and we have some years where 2 liberos win best. One gets best receiver, the other one gets best digger. So sometimes you question who's the better libero between the 2, because you're just highlighting the strength per per skill. I think they got the best of both worlds this year. We have some skills being highlighted, and we have positions being highlighted as well.
Now, we've talked about the buzz and the controversy, but let's talk about how Doria and Madayag have been such standouts, as blockers, especially since, Maddie broke her own career high and even the UAAPs.
I was really looking forward to these 2 girls whenever they put up a block, because aside from their height, they really work hard as a middle blocker. And I tried to play middle blocker at one point in my career, and that was the hardest part. Moving from left to right, staying in your position. You're not only watching the person in front of you, you're watching everyone. You're watching the setter, you're watching 2 or 3 spikers in front, so it is a very hard job. It's safe to say naman talaga that they were the 2 chosen to win the award at the end of the season.
Whether whoever's first or second, both of them stood out. Maddie being a record breaker. On the other side, Doria being the leader of her team, really just showing her maturity as she graduates for the Bulldogs. So it's a really interesting performance for both teams. And we wish to see more middle blockers, because it's not usually a position where Filipinos are naturally strong in. Yeah. And I like what I'm seeing now in the UAP, that we're seeing tall girls really just being powerful, being strong, and being dominant in the blocking position.
Now, moving on to best server, we have rookie Princess Robles. What did you think? Now, they always said that NU's future is bright when it comes to volleyball because of how this rookie batch has performed so well despite being such a rookie-laden batch.
It is true. At one point, NU was the team that also suffered quite a number of injuries and quite a number of players who were expected to play but did not. So yung mga rookies nila, they may not have made it into the Final Four, but this year was a year for the rookies to be able to find themselves, discover their talents, and to establish that confidence in them. And it's sort of their puhunan. Yun talagang ano nila for next year. Dito sila huhugot talaga ng lakas. Dito sila huhugot ng maturity.
There's really a lot of girls who are really talented, who are playing for the NU girls. That's why they're really dominant in the girls division. And the testament to that are the rookies that are playing in NU right now. You have Jen Yerva, you have Princess Robles, really talented ladies in the juniors division. And we saw how they could shine in the seniors division. So it's really going to be deadly in the coming years that more rookies are going to come in and shine for the Bulldogs.
That's true. We've seen like a wide array of offense and attacks. Like I think all of us were very breathless every time someone would spike and those cross-court hits. But we also saw a lot of close saves, and that's why, what did you think with Kat Arado winning Best Libero?
You know, you watch UE, they did have one hell of a season, I must say. You know, whenever UE is up against a team, even though it's Ateneo, even though it's LaSalle, no matter who is the team at the opposite side of the court, hirap na hirap silang pumalo. That's because of Kat Arado. Hindi man nila mapigilan yung mga spikers sa blocking. They're not one of the top teams in blocking. But in defense, Kat is just all over the place. Reception, digging, hindi talaga namamatay yung bola. So, you know, it's very entertaining to watch. Gone are the days that when UE is up against a team, you know, you consider them out of contention. Now you have to watch because they push the top teams to 4 or 5 sets. So it's really exciting also.
Kat Arado will be leaving the biggest shoe for any UE Lady Red Warrior because there's going to be a lot of expectation in that position because she just really left her mark. Everything was just perfect. She made everyone's job easy on the side of UE and everyone on the other side of the court have a nightmare because they can't seem to kill the ball because of Kat Arado. And really, it's a testament to it also is how Bendong also managed to get this award. I mean, we're not discrediting Bendong, but because of Arado's perfect reception, Bendong didn't have a hard time making those tough decisions on those crunch time moments. So we really see how Bendong also developed because she had an Arado.
That's true, and that's why Bendong is best setter. Like, so you think that it was because of Arado's receive that made it easier for Bendong to do her job as a setter and for the ball distribution?
Yes, it happens a lot, right?
Yeah.
If the best liberos, most of the time, best setter. And even though you don't win best liberos, sometimes kasi you have also other players in your team who are working overtime, like your outside spikers are working overtime in the back row in defense and reception. That's why it's very much easier for the setter to win that best setter award because hindi mo na kailangan mag-isip. If the ball just comes to you, then all you have to ask yourself is where to set the ball, and it just makes your job easier. And that's what happened with UE. You know, you can't discredit talent. The talent of Bendong, yes, that like what Sinj said, but it is a big factor na maganda yung depensa at maganda yung receive because it makes her job easier and she doesn't have to doubt herself. She doesn't have to think twice where to put the ball. And ang kailangan lang talaga niya isipin how to connect with her spikers and how to deliver a good set.
I'd like to say or put in a fact that most of our setters in the league this year were quite at par to each other, technically, in terms of skill level. Medyo halos pantay-pantay. Nagkaroon lang talaga ng factor na reception is missing in most of the teams that are strong. And we see it also we saw it in the Final Four, how big factor reception could be and how teams would win because of reception, whether they have it or not. So that's how crucial reception is. And that just highlights the libero position. But the setter really carries the load because if there's no reception, tatayin niyang mag-adjust for that. And that's where you see good running sets from our setters. And Bendong, though a lot of still sets, also a lot of running sets. So really great performance for Lai Bendong in this year.
So I think we could safely say that, you know, all these awards and the awardees, they're very well deserved. And we all enjoyed seeing them play this UAAP Season 89. And we can't wait for our next set of awardees for Season 82 because I think everyone's always looking forward for this next batch of recruits and talent. Thank you, Sinjan. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us today to talk about our UAAP Season 81 awardees. And again, thank you for joining us. And if you missed any of our past episodes, just catch it on I1. See you again on the next episode of The Score.
Trinoma Green Light Sale is back, and it's happening on May 17 to 19. Walk on the latest looks with up to 70% off at your favorite stores. Trinoma Green Light Sale, May 17 to 19, per DTI FTEB permit number 6625, series of 2019.
Thank you for watching The Score. Don't forget to subscribe to ABS-CBN Sports YouTube channel to be updated with the latest games.